dodging storm clouds, a lone figure stands silhouetted against the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft. The vampire Count Strahd von Sarovich stares down a sheer cliff at the village below. A cold, bitter wind spins dead leaves about him, billowing his cape in the darkness. Lightning splits the clouds overhead, casting stark white light across him. Strahd turns to the sky, revealing the angular muscles of his face and hands. He has a look of power and of madness. His once handsome face is contorted by a tragedy darker than the night itself. Rumbling thunder pounds the castle spires. The wind's howling increases as Strahd turns his gaze back to the village. Far below, yet not beyond his ken, a party of adventurers has just entered his domain. Strahd's face forms a twisted smile as his dark plan unfolds. He knew they were coming, and he knows why they have come. All according to his plan. The master of Ravenloft is having guests for dinner. And you are invited.
I will draw my sword just in case, but not in a threatening way. I'm just gonna hold it.
I'm drawing my sword not in a threatening way. How do you draw your sword not in a threatening way?
Well, slowly, and I'm gonna point it downwards and away from people.
Minecraft just used wild magic.
For who?
For who, dude? Fulgrim.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Interesting. It's like a pulse. I don't like things with pulse.
Well, hang on. Where's the rest of your crew?
Spot on role playing. Yeah, spot on.
Welcome, chat, to our fifth session of Curse of Strahd. And this will be the third part of Death House. I've made some new channel point rewards for you guys in chat, for you to be able to hopefully support our players in their adventure. I made one where you can roll on the dice of fate, where you get to roll a d6, and depending on your outcome, you give a chosen player, well, maybe a buff, maybe a debuff, who knows? It's a dice of fate. You can also, if you don't have a d6 die, you can choose a number between 1 to 6, or you can have a chosen player roll it as well. That is entirely up to you in chat. I've also made a channel point reward where you can give the players inspiration points, just like I give my players inspiration points, if you think something they did in the adventure was awesome. I would then have to ask you to describe why you think they deserve this inspiration point in some regard. And one for a divine intervention, the 10,000 points channel point reward, where you get to give a chosen player an advantage on his next roll. Or the 15,000 channel point rewards, the wild magic, where you give a chosen player, he has to roll on the wild magic table, which is, well, as you've seen, Leaf's special coin has done some weird shit a couple of times now. which also gave them some in-game battle music the last time. I think that's what's new on today's stream. And one more announcement. One of our players, it's actually his birthday today. Miles, or Torbjörn as he is, we call him in real life, or Crow, whatever he fancies. So, how close to death are you now?
That depends on from which way you started counting. But for the other guys, I'm turning 29 for the third time in a row.
Nice.
Nice.
That's pretty good. So how do you decide when you tip the scale? Okay. You roll a
Depends.
d20 each year?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, congratulations, dude.
Thanks.
There's no better way of spending your birthday than playing D&D, right?
That's correct.
Nice. Well, I guess we should move on to our session recap. So the last time, I should put on my little D&D hood here. The last time, our players, after reading through a lot of handouts and stuff in the library, and well, some players more traumatized than others, some a newfound fear of red leather covered books, decided to find out what was on the other side of the hall in this room, where they could hear some instruments, a harpsichord playing, practicing on this tune. The players found out that they could use one of the keys they found in the desk in the library to open the doors, which now suddenly had opening mechanisms that it didn't before, with Leaf's lockpicks. And once they got inside, they could find a fairly large room used for parties, in such a little ballroom. Quite dusty and dark and gloomy, not lit up like the rest of the rooms. Seemed to have been abandoned for a long while, but they could see some tracks, small footprints leading to and from the harpsichord and the harp standing in this room. Gloomsworth asked if anyone could try to play the sheet of music he found in the library, which was called the Vistani Lullaby. And Felgrim tried his best, and weird shit happened. Felgrim, won't you describe how the experience was for you?
Well, I played the piano, and then I didn't because someone else was playing for me with my body.
And ain't that nice? And as he started, his body started playing the harpsichord masterfully, I would say. A ghostly orchestra and ghostly ballroom dancers appeared. And Gloomsworth and Leaf, which were also standing in a room, could feel something trying to take hold of them. Gloomsworth managed to take control of his body, but Leaf found himself suddenly dancing in the air with a ghostly lady. And this whole sequence of a ballroom dance started as they floated through the air while this music was playing. And this lasted for a couple of minutes until the song ended and Leaf and the dancers safely landed on the floor. And the dancers went to their separate sides of the room, and now standing at the end of the hall was the Dursts, Elizabeth and Gustav Durst. Gustav staring quite blankly in the air, but Elizabeth staring right towards the players, or Gloomsworth in particular, before she launched forward, telling them to leave her house, possessing Gloomsworth in the process, making him try to shoot poor Leaf. But as I remember it, Leaf, or was it Miles who managed to take control of Gloomsworth?
I wrestled him to the ground.
Yeah, you wrestled him. And Gloomsworth finally managed to snap out of it, fully aware of what had just happened to him. The players at this point, well, what did you feel at this point? Would you say?
Everything was
Afraid.
fucked up.
Yeah. And after this, they could once again hear the singing of the lady singing her lullaby to this crying baby coming upstairs. And after a while, they, well, a bit reluctantly, started climbing the stairs, just as they'd done from the first floor. And when they got up there, they saw some suits of armor, which they had, well, on the second floor, pretty bad omen of and natural suspicion of. Well, they kind of disregarded it this time, and well, Leaf ended up being grabbed by the suit of armor as he tried to go around one of the corners in the room to search ahead, and he got launched off down the stairs. And this is where the first encounter in the house started, and they were attacked by 4 suits of armor, 2 above in the 3rd floor and 2 from the 2nd floor, flanking them both on the top of the stairs and down on the 2nd floor. Found himself quite cornered, and well, the Leaf wasn't the only one to be thrown down the stairs. Felgrim shortly fell after, landing on the shoulders of Leaf. And a little while after that, Gloomsworth was also thrown down. And Miles, weren't you thrown down as well?
Yep.
Pretty much
Big roll was
everyone,
thrown down.
except
Except
for
for-
poor George being stuck upstairs with 1 suit of armor on both fronts. Felgrim trying to save George ended up freezing or trapping the animated suit of armor, which he didn't know was standing right next to George as George was knocked unconscious. Poor George, being a level 1 wizard, doesn't really have a lot of HP. So the suit of armor had no choice but to attack his poor unconscious body.
No, he had a choice.
Yeah, some might say so. It's all a matter of perspective, I guess. And well, they managed to defeat at least 1 suit of armor, and all of, well, 3 of you have taken quite a lot of damage, being, well, to say at least bloodied by this point. Leaf, Miles, and Fulgrim in particular is looking quite rough. Fulgrim, on the other hand, hasn't taken that much damage. Should be good.
What do you mean?
Wait, did I say Fulgrim or did I meant Gloomsworth? It looks it's looking pretty good as well. He retracted into his protective shell as he was thrown down the stairs. And I think that is where we ended mid-encounter the last time, and is where we will continue today's session. So let us find out if they managed to survive this fight, and if they managed to maybe figure out who this singing lady and weeping child is. I guess. Is there anything you guys think I missed out that is important to note, or should we?
That we leveled up. That you gave us like 3 health potions and stuff.
We found a way out of the
Summer-
house.
Poor summer child. This is no happy fairy tale.
That there's no more red books in this campaign.
Well, let's see if Mile makes sure of that. He did an heroic attempt, or quite miserable attempt last time with his nat one. Just have a little recap. How much? Well, who's got a stress point at this point, and how many? Leaf's got a stress point. Miles got 2. Well, ain't that nice?
I have none.
You have none.
I have none.
Well,
I might get one.
Please
after
get
this.
on the level.
and please chat. These guys need divine intervention. So this would be a good time to try
I need
out.
new dice.
Yeah. I'm gonna see, do I have access to my D&D Beyond dice now? I didn't have the last time. Yeah, I do, so we should be good.
Oh, we're all gonna die now.
The camera isn't, there we go. Do I have to have, can I do this now? Okay, it's good. Okay, so first I need to change up the music a little. This music is quite, well, this is some new music actually I was allowed to use, which is called Castle Ravenloft. 1 hour of gothic orchestral music for role-playing and gaming. I sent this guy a mail and I was allowed to use his music. So I would definitely check that out if I were you. If you're looking for creepy music, or he makes a lot of other role-playing music as well. That was the music page. There we go. Let's see. And well, I'm sorry if the battle music can be a bit repetitive, but I can only use music I'm allowed to use. So it is what it is. There we go. Okay. So we ended on. Why can't I see my? Gotta keep this down a bit. We ended on turn number 4 or 3 last time, and we are just starting at turn number 4, which would make this not be a long encounter yet, but so we're starting with Felgrim. Do you guys want to know your initiative orders from the last time? Did you note that down, or would you like to know it? Maybe?
I mean, I'm good if I'm first.
Yeah, so Felgrim is
Anyway.
first, Leaf is second in your guys' initiative order, and then it's Miles, or would be, or George, George, Miles, and then Gloomsworth. And the enemy's initiatives, I won't reveal.
Fitting that the turtle is the slow one.
Yeah. And Leaf is pretty fast, but Little Gnome is the fastest one. Felgrim, it is your turn, and well, do you need a little sit rep from the last time?
No, I'm pretty sure we're fucked, so...
Either how.
I will fight the guy in front of me and keep him at bay
Yeah, because
as
you're
best
up
as I can.
yeah, you're in the stairs leading up to the second floor, and you have one suit of armor standing right next to you. Ah, yeah,
23.
that will definitely hit.
Uh,
11.
11, and I will roll a 3 on radiant damage.
So that makes it a total of 14 damage. That is a big hit on this guy.
Just standing there in the stairs, trying to dodge the suit of armor's attack.
So you,
Fencing with him.
yeah, so you hit it pretty severely. So how would you describe your attacks on this suit of armor?
Fast and precise. I'm aiming for all the joints where the armor is.
In a non-threatening
Yes.
way.
In a
In a
non-threatening
course.
non-threatening way.
Well, you go shanking style this time. Well,
Poking style.
nice. And you deal a lot of damage, and as you finish poking, you can see that the shadowy figure within is also now really starting to struggle to hold all the pieces of armor together. But it's still standing. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
I'm still standing.
That is my turn, yeah.
Nice. Oh shit. I didn't loop it. God damn.
There you go.
Oh, fight's over? Sweet. Perfect. Let's go.
Oh,
Man.
fuck's sake. Loop. Loop-de-loop. There we go. Okay, that was your turn, Dan. It's Leaf's turn,
Yes.
which is...
So this
turning.
guy is above me, right?
Yeah, he's above you, on the top of the
So he can't
stairs.
attack me if I run away. Nice.
No, he can't even see you. There's one here who is close to you, if he can, which is within 5 feet. Technically.
He's around 9.2 feet away from me, thank you. No, just kidding. I'm gonna use a bonus action to dodge. No, disengage, I mean. And
Oh.
run over here.
Oh, actually, yeah, yes. So you don't need to use it. He's 8. Yeah, he was 8
Nice.
feet away, so he wasn't close to you. Thank you so
I
much.
run
for
here.
following. You run
And
there.
I will throw away my sword, not throw away, I will put it back. Take
You
my
run
bow.
There, behind the bear.
Yes.
Okay.
I have totally clean sight.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
25
totally.
feet.
And I will shoot.
God, I love that feature. Twenty-two. That
22.
hits.
Nice. And Gloomy is right next to him, so that's no, that's a short sword. I took wrong. Oh, it's the same dice.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
it
a
doesn't
sneak
matter.
attack. Jesus.
Yeah, 16.
16 points of damage on the suit of armor, and that was the one. Oh dear lord. Yeah, how do you want to do this?
Oh, I'm just running away, shaking like hell because I'm fucked, and I'm like getting this reflex while I'm drawing my bow back and
Nice.
just shoot him. Yes.
Just over the shoulder of the stuffed bear as you hit it straight in the chest, and you can see the shadow within just evaporating and all the pieces of armor flying back towards the wall and all over the room as he is now dead.
Is it dead?
Severed dead. Or
and I would like to-
unanimated, I guess is the correct term for this thing.
Yes. And I will try to run here and hide.
There and hide, yeah, as you can do with your bonus action.
Yes.
It is now would be George's turn. Miles.
Right. How's it going? I'll run around the bear and up into the stairs, carrying my bow, and go up behind the wolf. And I guess I can see this guy?
Yeah, you can.
From where's that?
Yeah,
I'll
because
try and-
Gloomsworth is in reality is below.
Yeah,
the
it's down below.
staircase, Yeah.
I'll take a shot with my bow towards him over the head of Felgrim.
You do that.
And let's see.
Pretty small. But it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, you're pretty small, so yeah, he's no.
17.
17. Oh, you can see the arrow hit the armor, but it just bounces off and doesn't really do any impact. But it was close. You hit it. But
And I'm gonna take one step back down.
nice.
That's my turn.
How long did that spell of yours, or your class feature last, Felgrim, the blood melodic binding thing?
For a minute or until he
Or-
breaks out of it.
So he needs to do some kind of thing to break out of it in the end of his turn or something?
Strength check.
Strength check. And it's in the end of the turn?
End of the turn, yeah.
End of the turn. So... That is a 9, so he does not make the check, and he is immobile.
He is. And he has no reaction and no movement.
No. Well, that was his turn. That's a really good action economy thing. Okay, so now it's the suit of armor still standing right next to you, Gloomsworth. And naturally, he will attempt to hit you with his rusty spared. Spared? What the fuck is a spared? Spared. He will
Spare him.
Spared me. Okay, he will try to hit you. That is a 19 to hit.
It's
Dealing 4 points of piercing damage with his trusty rusty spear. And that was one attack, and he has 2 attacks. But the other one misses. It just bounces off your shell and doesn't connect to any vital parts. That is his turn. Would now have been the dead animated. It's your turn, Gloomsworth.
I'll hit him back
Nice.
with my cane sword.
With your cane sword.
13.
Unfortunately, you are not able to hit in as your cane sword go in the shadowy parts and doesn't seem to do any damage.
Yeah, that's my turn.
That's your turn. Is it an action to retreat into your shell? Just asking.
Yeah.
It's an action, okay. Okay, well that brings us to round 5 and on top to Felgrim again.
I'm gonna hit him again. Kaboom.
That
17.
Once again, your sword it bounces off his armor.
I am
And,
gonna use my inspiration.
You do that. Cool. Oh! So you first stab him once and you say, okay, I didn't really connect, but you do it again and you hit him. Exactly hit him.
Oh, good.
Roll damage. Their AC is 18.
Motherfucker. 14 plus 4 radiant damage. It's 18.
14 plus 4 radiant damage? God damn. Wait. No, dude. Didn't
What?
you...
What?
Which one? You...
One in the stairs.
Wait, leave?
I killed this guy.
You killed that guy. Gloomsworth, let's
Yes.
skip back. Revert the
Huh?
damage I dealt to you. That guy was dead. I just forgot to remove him, sorry.
The ghost hit you.
Boom, he is dead. I'm so sorry. You get your turn back. And you get healed. You took 4 points of piercing.
Yeah.
So let's turn back a little.
Come on.
And you will also get your... If the armor gets killed now, you get your inspiration point back, Felgrim.
Okay.
Or else your attack will hit.
Okay, so there's no armors down here, right?
No, there's the one in the stairs, and you know that there's also one left up with George.
Okay. I'll go to the bottom of the stairs, and do I have a visual? Visual?
If you go a little bit further up, yeah.
Okay. And I will point my gun at him and shoot with the gun.
Nice.
Ah, 17.
Oh, dear lord. It's so close. You can see the bullet hitting, but it bounces off the armor.
Yeah.
It ricochets off a little. Anything else?
Nah.
Well, now you can get to roll your damage, Felgrim, on your turn.
I'll roll the damage again.
Yeah. How much damage did you do? 14?
18.
18! Holy crap! Well, how you want to do this?
Ah! I am with my radiant lightsaber I'm just gonna step on his knee and jump up and plunge the rapier into his visor and just straight into his face.
Nice.
And then kick myself off his chest and land again.
And the armor, as you kick yourself off, the armor just spurts out on the floor, in the second floor. And he is vanquished. Utterly vanquished.
And then I'm gonna say, "Where's George?" And I'm gonna start running up.
Okay, let me get...
I'm gonna use my full movement to run up the stairs, if you want to move me.
Yeah. So how much movement do you have? Let's see, it would be...
25.
5, 10, 20, 25. Okay. You would get to this point.
I help to notice that you missed 15 in there. 5, 10, 20, 25.
Oh, did I? Oh, wait, then you would get there. Oh, okay, actually, sorry.
Thank you.
My god, long day in the kindergarten today. We have like this crazy group now. I had 6 children the first 5 minutes today at work. Not a good kind. Okay, they're heading down, so I need to actually, as you get up, you just see George's body standing, laying in the stairs, and as you come up, you just, well, you think at least it's George, judging by the clothes, but you can just see that the chest is caved in and the head is just smashed to pulp. There's no way of really
The healing potion won't work here.
We've got a healing facial reconstruction potion. But yeah, you would suffice that he is beyond healing. His body is mashed to pulp by this standing suit of armor. You can see this animated suit of armor standing behind him, and his iron gauntlets, or the gauntlets of the armor, it's just thick with blood, red blood.
Yep, that's my turn.
As you can still see the blood tendrils sort of holding him in his place. That is your turn. I'm gonna show chat real fast. What he's seeing. Why is it gray like that?
Because there are no tokens there. With whistles, I think.
It has it's lightning error, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's a
Something.
page. You should be able to.
I think if you put Gloomsword up there, he emits light, so it's not grey. You just have to make the token emit
make
light.
your token to? Oh yeah, no, I see. Okay. Did I make your token so see it in shades of gray? I did. Let's not do that. None.
Give me my light vision.
You might have to
Imagine having a
reload it.
lightsaber and being in the gray.
There we go. Okay. Back to the encounter. Now that was your turn. Leaf, it is now your turn.
Now I can see the wolf just standing there and looking at me.
Oh yeah.
I'm
He-
grabbing my bow and doing a ready action because I'm scared as fuck.
Why isn't the page being turned for stream? It's not working. It's not working. It's a gift. Oh well. Yeah. Okay. What do you do?
I can finally see the wolf that I didn't see while running over there, and I'm scared as fuck, so I'm just doing a ready action if it moves or anything. I'm too scared to move. It's my worst enemy.
Yeah, makes sense. So you have a ready action with your bow.
Yes.
Nice. Miles.
Hey, Pellegrin, where are you going? I'll run after him up the stairs, and I'll dash, even if I have to.
Nice. Let me do something real quick here. I think I just have to do this. There we go. Now I know a quick fix for that. So you dash up. Okay, you are on. Where were you standing at the start of your turn?
Right in front of Gloomsword.
15 feet to the second floor. And you should be able to 15, 20, 25 get up to this point, and at this point you're able to see the body of him as well, and the animated suit of armor. And the top of the stairs leading up to the third floor. So
I'm gonna use my dash action then. No, I can see him standing there.
Yeah, you can see him.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna try and take a shot towards him.
Nice with your bow.
Yes. Yeah.
Bow.
No, George.
And
Has the suit of armor managed to get out of it, or is it still?
They won.
he is still stuck. That was 21. That hits.
Oh, sweet. 5. Because in seeing George down like that, I'm totally blanking, so I'm forgetting to use the Horizon Walker feature to make him take force damage.
Oh, yeah, I got a bit startled by the
Yep.
how you see George.
Oh no! I'll hit a weak arrow into his
Yeah.
shoulder armor or something.
5 points of piercing damage. And it is now the animated suit of armor's turn. And, well, not being able to move, he picks up the body. Oh shit, with a 21 athletics. Picks up the body of George. You see him standing, he picks it up and he throws it towards you, Felgrim. Can you make a dex save for me?
Oh, I'm good at those. 17.
17. So he just throws the body towards you, but you dodge away, and the body of George just crashes into the wall behind you, starting rolling down the stairs, and landing right next to the feet of Miles, just pummeled and blood spurting everywhere.
Oh,
So you get the blood of Miles all over you in the process. Both of you guys. It's not a good massage. And he will then attempt to do the strength save at the end of his turn. Does 15 succeed?
Did he use his action to throw the body?
Oh, he has to use an action to...
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he did. So he's still stuck. And Gloosworth.
I'll run up the stairs as well.
5, 10, 15, 20 feet to this. Yeah, would you look at that? 20 feet. You have 30.
I have 30, yeah.
So yeah, you can get yourself right at the start of the stairs, and then you will have a visage to the suit of armor.
No, I lied to you. I'm sorry. He doesn't have to use his action for it.
He doesn't.
No.
You
So
liar.
it means he broke loose.
Then he broke loose. Okay, but it was in the end of his turn, so he wouldn't be able to move anything anyway.
No.
Okay, so you get, with your movement, you get there, George. And you can also now see Felgrim and Miles just covered in the blood and the pummeled, mashed body of George laying between them. And you can also see this suit of armor that is just covered in blood.
Alright. I'll see. Question first of all.
Yeah.
The net as an action to actually try to grapple him.
Net? You have a net?
Yeah, I'm proficient in nets.
Nice.
Uh,
I've never
like
seen it
for action, whatchamacallit, can I, if I attempt to grapple him with a net, can I also use like a knight to try and tug him towards me?
Are
And
you proficient
like
in athletics?
nope.
Because if you were, because I grant you a bonus action in skill checks that you are proficient with.
Okay, I am not, so that's fair.
But if you was, I would definitely allow that. That would be a pretty cool. But if you get a natural 20 on the shit, or if you have to roll or anything like that, I will grant you.
Yeah, I have to, like, the net will, the attack is to grapple, or restrain, sorry, a
Okay,
creature.
So you make
It's an attack roll
attack
to
roll.
restrain.
To restrain, yeah. And yeah, so we will
Yeah.
be restrained. Nice. Roll. And if you get a nat 20, you will get your granted.
Okay,
Effect.
why not? I believe in faith. Like...
Come on, guys. Come on.
Ooh.
Oh,
Fucking 19.
oh, oh my lord.
Well, he's restrained.
That's just unfair. Okay, I can see the dice log didn't
So yeah,
update as well. There we
I'll
go. Oh my god.
I'll take out the net from my shell, and I'll like Indiana Jones toss around him and restrain him.
Because it doesn't say that you're allowed to pull it or anything, you just cover it.
Like, no, it's like when you use an action, bonus action, or a reaction attack with the net, you can only make one attack regardless of the number of the attacks you can normally make. So if like drag was an action, that yeah, it won't.
Yeah,
You can't do it.
I see. Fuck, it was real cool.
That's how I read the rules, at least.
Yeah, I would have granted, if you were proficient with athletics, I would grant you if you got to 2D or a natural 20, I would have granted. It was super cool.
Yeah. Alright. But he is restrained.
He is restrained, so he would just broke out of this blood net or something, and now he gets another net covering him, and you can see the armor really fumbles in it. And does he fall prone on the net, or is it just?
No, he's just restrained.
Just restrained. Okay, nice. So he still can't move. And that was your action. Is there anything else?
Nah, I'll stand ready to tug him if he
Yeah, nice.
on my next action.
Just one thing. Just remember that you can always, if you have one weapon, you can always do an unarmed strike. If you're close though. But that's just something I never think about as a player. That as long as you have one arm free, you could always do an armed strike as a 2-weapon or a bonus action.
Wait,
Fair.
you can?
You can, because you see, you have two. As you go on your bonus actions, you have the 2-weapon fighting action, and you can use it as doing a melee attack if you have like a dagger or a short sword or something.
I can
You just
punch
don't
someone
get.
with my shield.
Yeah, you just don't get. Oh, you can do it with a shield though, but you can. You don't get the modifiers for it. But you can do an unarmed strike. So here the other day, I had these new players in my community that was like training, and we're thinking of doing like Lost Mines of the Delver every time my nephew is here. And one of those players like, can't I do an unarmed strike as a bonus action? But yeah, you can. And an unarmed strike, that for him, it automatically, if it hit, it dealt 4 damage. So he headbutted a fucking wolf to death. So yeah, you can headbutt, kick, punch. You just describe it, but you can do an unarmed strike as a bonus action.
I need to learn to read my abilities.
Yeah, like I've
Because
played
I have
this
seen you
game.
fighting.
I played this game for 7 years now and never thought of that. So yeah,
To be fair, I usually play a bard, so
and sometimes like there's just one health point missing, and yeah, so it can really turn the tides. Okay,
Well,
then it's the 6th round. It's your turn, Felgrim.
well, he is stuck, so I will take my opportunity to use my new knowledge to run up to him and attack him twice.
Yeah. Do you get advantage on targets that are restrained? I can't remember. Or do you just
Yeah. You
Let's
do,
see.
I think.
restrained conditions? Restrained. God, it's been so long since a restrained creature becomes zero. Can attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature attack rolls have disadvantage. And disadvantage
bitch.
is dexterity saving throw. So yeah, you have advantage on your attack rolls.
This bitch better be ready to hurt. Alright, I will first use Bloodfang.
Noise.
That's a 21
21, that definitely hits.
for 9 piercing and
Ooh.
4 radiant. So
Oh my god, your maledict or your bonus damage is on point today. That is 13
Oh, yes.
points of damage. So as you stab him,
then-
once again you can see the shadows really start to struggle to keep the animated suit of armor.
I just stab him up underneath his arm.
Nice.
Pull the rapier out and then just punches him in the knee with my shield
Nice.
as an unarmed strike.
That's an unarmed strike, nice. Wait, you
Oh,
can't. You, do you have a shield equipped?
I do.
Then unfortunately you can't. Because if you have a
Ah,
shield equipped, you don't
shit!
have your free hand. So it is if you have a free hand. I think so at least.
Really?
Or yeah, you can double check that though.
I will double check. Hang on.
I think
Because
it's
I think it said on my build that it works with a shield.
because I think it's two weapon fighting. You have to have. Let's see. If you take an attack with a
Where is
light
it?
melee, you're holding in one hand. You can use a bonus action attack with a different light melee weapon. So the shield isn't considered a light melee weapon. Unfortunately, it's not considered a
Really?
weapon unless you have some fancy trade, I think. But yeah, the shield is just an equipment, armor, considered armor.
Gotcha. Well, okay, and then I won't do that.
So yeah, unfortunately. But I think there's features or feats that allows you to use your shield.
Yep.
Like that. So that's something to think about. Okay. You do anything else?
Nope, that's my turn.
Nice. Well, we learned a little bit more rules today, chat. It is now Leaf's turn. And nothing happened with the wolf. It's still standing.
Just,
as you can see,
I'm still gonna aim at it and do a ready action and whisper to myself, don't blink. Don't blink. Leafy, don't fucking blink.
Well, George had to do, well, it's just 6 seconds, you don't have to. You can hold your eyes open for 6 seconds without problem.
I'm at the back, of course I can.
Oh, dear lord. Have an inspiration point. Just think that's awesome. Oh god. Poor George's turn. You dead. Miles. That was your turn, right, Leaf? You still holding you ready and you staying in the corner?
Yes.
Yeah. Miles.
Quick question: Did you attack the restrained target? By the way,
I did.
did you get advantage?
Yeah.
I did.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry, I didn't pay attention. Sorry.
Yeah, he gained advantage.
It just didn't roll 20.
Okay, fair.
Wait, you didn't?
No, all my advantages doesn't roll to roll 20. It rolls to D&D Beyond
okay.
instead.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
So you can check the log there if you don't believe me.
I believe you. I would have believed, like, it would be weird if you didn't want your advantage. Okay, Miles.
No, George. I'll take try another shot towards the armor.
Yeah.
This time with.
I'll
the
see. I
planar
think it's
barrier
straight
feature.
attack rolls against. No, it doesn't say anything about melee or range, so you have advantage.
Sweet.
Ooh,
Advantage.
Plain Warrior, you do the same
Let's go.
thing. Bonus action, choose a creature.
It doesn't help. 10. No.
Oh god damn it!
I'm too. George,
sick.
no.
And yeah, you are quite
yeah.
distressed by a lot of things, so that makes sense.
That's my turn.
Jesus. His body is just laying right in front of your feet, and you can see the blood just starting to flow downstairs towards, like, right next to the feet of Gloomsworth now as well. And now it's his turn. How does it work with the restraint? Does he have to do
He has to do a depends like strength check.
strength check at the start of his turn or end of his turn? Does it say anything about that?
Depends if he wants to try and get out of it or not.
Okay, so you can choose.
So he has to use an action.
Yeah, so he uses his action to try to break out of it, and he gets. Oh, he fumbles, gets 7. Have no chance of breaking out. So you can see he really struggles with this. It never in his animated life dealt with a problem like this. I think I've seen this anime.
Fair enough. Well, then he keeps getting.
And that is his
Then he's-
turn.
Perfect.
Gloomsworth. That was
I'll tug him.
it.
I am tugging.
Yes. Roll an athletic.
Get him.
I guess he is. He can do. And this is an attack roll. It's considered an attack roll by you to try and. So you get advantage, and he tries to consist it.
Attack roll or athletics roll?
Well, it's an athletics roll, but I would say it is considered kind of a. You would try to grapple or restrain, and that is considered an attack roll. So I gave you advantage in that. Like, you have the advantage in this situation. It's hard for him to be able to not do it. So you roll an athletics with advantage, and I'll roll
it's gonna go so
a
bad.
contestant roll.
Oh, it's gonna be so bad. Fuck. 10.
Ah, and he got a 21. So you try to talk
With
him, but
advantage?
he grabs. That was with advantage.
No. I'm
Yeah.
just asking. Disadvantage?
Oh yeah, he actually does. He does have disadvantage. Shit, sorry, I'll do it with disadvantage. Oh, I got a 19, 21 and a 19. I'm sorry. So you tried to tug him, but he gets pulled right next to the herregud, rekkverk railings, and he managed to tug a little back and stay on his feet. That was your turn.
It's my turn. Fuck. Yeah.
How heavy are you?
Yeah.
Because what if you
Oh,
just
how
walk
heavy?
down the stairs?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Am I going to
jump
use
down.
my movement to just jump down?
While holding it, like it wouldn't require an action.
Nah.
But do you want a suit of armor? Or if you just walk down the stairs?
Nah, it will be if I'm just walking, it will be considered tugging, I guess. Like it will be an action.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, God damn.
Fuck it, I'll jump down. Sing George.
Really? Nice.
It's one floor. Fuck it.
One floor. That is 1d8. Roll on acrobatics for me. See if you're able to stand on your feet.
13.
Oh yeah, you do. So you land on your feet, but take 1d8 full bludgeoning damage. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yikes.
But he gets pulled down. Does it say how long the rope on the net is? What is
No.
reach?
I guess how far you can throw it.
Yeah, what is
It's a
reach?
15 feet range.
Yeah, that would pull it down. So he breaks through, and he falls down as well. And
Yes!
he would definitely get a disadvantage on his acrobatics. Yeah, it does not make that. Do a dex save for me, Gloomsworth.
Ah, fuck.
You're so good at those.
Ah! 19?
Oh,
Yes.
and
Aha.
you knew what you were doing. So you land on your feet, stand back, and then you and he falls down from the 3rd floor. And that is 3d8s. Dealing 6,
Kawabanga!
11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, I am totally happy with this round.
Just slamming on the ground, and you can see he really struggles now to stay apart, and he is prone on the ground. Fucking inspiration,
So-
dudes. That was awesome.
Can I then
Save
use
inspiration.
my claw? For an
Wait,
offhand
you
attack?
have offhand attack. Yeah, you can.
This is so dumb.
Wait,
Fuck's
do you
sake.
have claw?
I have claws. Ah,
No.
16.
16. Ah. Try to.
Oh, he's still restrained?
Yeah, he's still advantage. Jesus.
Nah!
Ah.
So close.
Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah, like scratches in depth.
Like Gloomsworth is just looking angry at him, and he's just trying to
Claw
scratch him.
is 1d4 plus 2. Jesus.
No, it's just 1d4. Like
Oh yeah.
an armed attack is just is like 1 or something, and then claw is
Your unarmed
1d4.
strike is 1 plus your strength modifier.
yeah, and I don't have strength.
No, you don't. You have minus. So you would do nothing. You just punch it. -1. Yeah, you shouldn't do unarmed strikes. Okay, that's Felgrim's turn. Oh, someone please animate that move.
I
Cover bomb.
figured out why I was confused earlier, because I'm not supposed to have 2-weapon fighting.
Yeah, with
This makes sense.
the shield equipped.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole reason for me picking a shield was because I picked Duelist as my feat,
Oh.
as my fighting style.
Yeah.
And during creation of my character, somehow I got 2-weapon instead of Duelist.
Oh. And the duelist, what does that do?
It gives me +2 to attack
I see.
if I don't have a weapon in my offhand.
Oh shit. Well, it doesn't if you have. Well, can you have a shield?
It does. I can have a shield. That's why I picked the shield.
I see. Yeah, because it just say weapon.
Yes.
All right.
So I have the wrong scale.
Jesus. Okay. Well, it's your turn. And you have now just witnessed Gloomsworth eating the fucking armor downstairs to the first floor.
Fuck it, I'm gonna jump after.
And you can just see him laying on the floor. Okay, you jump after. Do an acrobatics for me.
I will jump sword first.
Nice.
Acrobatics.
Oh,
That's a 20.
Oh, yeah. You can do this however you like, dude.
I will swan dive of up +2 to damage, not to hit. Okay, thank you.
Oh, nice. Thanks for the reminder. We appreciate that.
I will swan dive off the stairs.
Nice.
And
roll
aim
attack
for
with
his
advantage.
Advantage. Oh my god.
Kill it. Kill it.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, yeah. Well, it hits.
That's 18.
Nice. 18 hits exactly.
Take that! 8
How
plus.
you wanna do this? He had 4 points of the health left.
Okay. So exactly like I said, I'm gonna swan dive off the stairs, aim my swords towards his visor, and just plunge myself into him.
Oh, poof. And just sits on top of it in the end, like Gimli on top of the orcs in Moria. No, what's it called? Helm's Deep. Jesus.
He's twitching because he got my axe in his nervous system.
And the encounter is over. Jesus, you really stepped up these past 2 rounds. Let's stop this music. But the gruesome reality, what has just happened, comes to the front of your minds as the encounter now ends. Leaf still standing in the corner watching that wolf. Felgrim just hit it on top of it in Gloomsworth. Well, I imagine Gloomsworth being pretty satisfied with himself, but you can all see the blood dripping from above. And Miles still having the dead body of George laying right in front of you, unrecognizable as his face is smashed in his chest.
As the combat finishes, I'm just gonna collapse out of breath on top of the suit of armor that I just plunged into.
You going to?
Just out of breath, just collapse on top of the suit of armor that I just jump onto. Just catch my breath a little.
Yeah.
Being very hurt right now.
And
Oh, fuck.
the house seems to be very quiet at this moment. The only sound you hear is the dripping red blood droplets. Quickly.
Don't blink, Leaf. Don't blink.
Miles!
What?
Is there any sign of life?
Try and check for a pulse, even though that I realize that. Yeah, I'll probably not find anything, but I'm still gonna try.
Your hands get covered in blood. As you do so, like his head is just smashed and unrecognizable. Same with his chest.
No.
Fuck.
Guys!
I'll gather up George and carry him down the stairs towards the others.
You easily enough do so. And he said just limps as you hold him.
I'll go up in the stairs and join him in dragging him down. Or not dragging, but, you know, lifting him down. Dunk, 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 dunk. That is our third loss within 2 days. This is heavy.
I shouldn't have cast that spell.
I don't blame you. You did what you thought was right, and I appreciate that. And I do think if you were still breathing, you would concur.
Yeah, well, he isn't. That's because of me.
I'll close his eyes if they're still up.
There's no.
That-
You're just imagining his face being caved in.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll cover his face.
This would be face.
Yeah. And I'll just say like, rest well, friend. And hope the afterlife treats you well.
You can see that he has the Dawnwatcher amulet around his neck. Dawnwatcher crest.
Yeah. Is it like a dog tag, or do people like
It's kind of
take
like a
him?
dog tag, yeah.
Okay. I'll take it on, as is Norm.
He also has some other equipment. Jesus.
Wow.
Sorry.
Breaking the immersion. Big time.
Sorry. But you could-
We don't rob our friends here in this group.
We're
In this
gonna
group.
do. What are we gonna do with his body? You can just
Yeah.
leave it here in this house.
We'll leave it down here for now, and we'll take it with us whenever we get out. That is my suggestion. And also, Leaf, what are you doing? Looking at Leaf over in the corner.
Can I hear them?
Yeah, you can hear him. They went downstairs, didn't you guys? Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're on the same floor.
Okay, they are in the same. I'm trying not to blink.
Oh, right.
Wait,
Wolves.
Someone
Can
just
we?
chop the
try
head
to
off
s-
these damn animals.
Yes, can you guys please do that for me? That would be very kind.
Anyone with a slashing weapon, preferably.
Oh, fine. I'll take out the cane and try to slash off or, cut off the head.
Roll to it.
Really?
Well, it's more just.
It's not. It's not like an attack. It's just I'm sitting next to it and like cutting a bread
Slowly.
on the head.
Roll to attack the bread.
In a non-threatening way.
Well, it might come alive. Who knows?
Fine. Advantage because it's standing still.
Yeah.
Fair. And there we go. 12.
Hits. Roll down.
Nice. Ah, shit.
How effective is a cane sword of chopping someone else's head off?
7.
Good enough.
Fair enough.
Chop. It was a bear's head.
Yeah.
You have no chopped off the bear's head, and you can see it's just filled with whatever you stuff animals with. I guess. I have no clue. Does anyone know what stuff animals are stuffed with?
Stuffing.
Porridge.
I'll just hold the head and
Throw it
roll-
into the fire.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm tossing it towards Leaf.
Oh god.
That's a bear head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Barely.
Okay, that's
Barely.
okay. I'm going really slow to the fireplace and just pushing it in there.
And it catches fire. And
Now the wolves, please.
as it starts burning, and you can see the fur burns off pretty easily, and you can see the bones within. Actually, it looks like it now has bones. You can see the skeleton head of the bear. And as it starts burning, you can see the fire fills its eyes, and in a flicker of a moment, it's almost like you see the red glowing eyes, and it kind of reminds you of the red glow you saw in the wolves that attacked you in the Dawnwatcher camp. Just for a moment, though, as the flame engulfs the entire head.
And I'll do the same on the wolves. They're in the stair, right?
Yeah. You can
I'll do the same.
gather them up easily enough and do that. Roll with advantage.
Sake. 16?
Enough. And the other wolf. Just roll them both.
No, it's 5 damage, by the way.
Well, that was a DC. So, 5 damage and 20 feet to it. Yeah, 5 damage. That's enough.
23. I
Yeah,
apologize.
well, that also hits. I set it.
And 10.
Nice. Well, you cut the heads easily enough. It's even easier on these two. And you do the same with in the fire.
Yeah. I'll toss them to Leaf and him.
You toss them to me?
They're next to the fire.
Okay, I'm grabbing those and watching them. They are dead.
As
No,
you
you
lift
guys will
up one of the
burn.
head, you can see the jaw just moving. But it's just a jaw. But it's just a jaw dropping. But you get a little bit startled as it just opens.
And I throw it in the fire. Burn! Burn! You suck of blood.
Hellspawn.
Whilst this is happening, can I just? I'm just gonna sit down on my knees next to George's body, and I'm gonna say a prayer to the Raven Queen
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
and ask her to guide him on his way over through the afterlife, so he ends up where he is supposed to be and stay there
And where's that?
in the afterlife and not come back as a zombie.
Fair. Would you like to do a religion roll, or is it just a prayer?
Sure. I mean, I can do a religion roll to see how good my prayer is, I guess.
Yeah.
Say 9.
Well, you roll, say your prayer, and are your character a religious person? Like, how
I do
is
have-
your connection to your god, like to the Raven Queen?
Well, not very strong. I am proficient in religion, but I'm not the type of person who goes to church and pray every now and then, but I use the wisdom and guidance of the Raven Queen in my work when I kill monsters to send them back to where they belong
I see.
in her name.
So you are a believer of sorts in her.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Were
I
you-
see myself as her, not her champion, but as, a servant.
servant, where you previously have felt some kind of connection each time you've done this in her honor, it now feels very distant. And the whole situation kind of feels, well, you really feel kind of defeated in the moment. Where you, before, when you've done your prayers like this, you might have felt inspired or felt like you did something good, but you're now feeling more unsure.
Nice. We need to move on before more show up.
I agree. We need to. Does anyone require some rest?
Yes.
Yes.
Convenient.
You hear the same lullaby as you did in the little ballroom. And it sounds like the same woman, coming from the same woman you've been hearing singing the lullaby earlier. And I think we'll just take our break a little earlier. It's getting close to 8:30. So before we do anything else, I think it's just nice to do a break right here, and then we'll be on, and we'll still take 15 minutes. Okay. Well, we ended on the break just as you heard the woman once again humming or on this Vistania lullaby. Just before we went to the break. And, well, yeah. As you guys said yourself, you are pretty tired, but there we go. At this point,
I know. feel like taking a break now is risky.
I mean, everything in this house is risky, right? So
Fair point.
We are barely standing. I don't know what to do.
Let's sleep. Let's find a room and we sleep.
yeah, there were some beds in this other room, right?
Yeah, do you want to sleep with the ghost?
Yes.
It's better than the wolves.
Absolutely.
Where did you put the body of George?
Not into the fire with the others.
I guess you're in the second floor, or did you carry him down to the first floor?
Down to the first one to leave.
First, yeah.
I'm gonna move you guys. And I need to change the view for the chat. There we go. Okay. Move on. So what do you guys want to do?
We haven't found a room that is safe yet. I think, except for
The library.
the library.
No, we're not going in the library. Or
What's your
if you guys take all the red books and burn them in the fireplace, then we can go into the library.
I mean, sure. It's your problem.
You could do that. So-
Isn't there like a chair or sofa in this room where the wolves came from?
I think so, maybe.
Maybe, yes.
Think that's better than books?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So
Gonna
are we
go
agreeing
in-
that we're taking a rest?
I'm actually dying here. I'm stressed as fuck and bleeding out, so I need the rest.
Yeah, I agree, but it's risky.
Gloomy can watch over us.
For how long are we planning to rest?
Well, it really depends on the ghost, I guess.
Okay, how long are we aiming for?
1 hour, 2 hour.
Can't get him to rest.
Fuck off.
Probably an hour should be
Okay.
good, right? Then we at least get some more breath into ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Gloomsworth, while you're standing
Yeah.
next to his body, you can notice in his pouch in his belt he had a health potion.
Hint, hint.
Just
Passive
FYI.
investigation.
Yes, your passive investigation is pretty good.
Yeah, mine's shit, so that's fine.
Whoa. Well, I got a health potion here. For anybody who likes. Since
Let's.
George doesn't want it.
I mean, I could always take. Oh no! Wait a minute.
I'll toss.
I seem to have
I'll
3 on me.
instantly
if someone
toss it
wants
to
one.
Miles because he was the first one to speak of.
Nice.
Okay, I mean, I have 4 health potions.
What?
Leaf, do you want one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I
Here
gave
we go.
mine to
And I'll
Felgrim.
chuck him towards him.
Well, okay, let's have our rest first and save our resources as best as we can. And after the rest, or if we manage to have a rest, let's see how we're doing then. But I really think we just save our resources.
So,
That
you
sounds
attempt to do a short rest in the the hunter's lodge.
Yes.
You just wanted
Yeah.
to curl up on the furs on the floor.
Yes.
Do you guys want to do, like, if anyone stays guard or anything like that, any preparations, or?
I think we're gonna sleep. I just think we're gonna rest, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we'll all be awake, but I will, as we're all in here, I will block the door with one of the what's it called, cupboards.
For being able to rest after anything you like you experience, you would have to like really rest and try to not be on kind of guard.
Yeah, I know.
So is there anyone you who'd like to do some guard duty or have any spells or anything that could, for example, well, you don't have many spells. That's true. That's right.
George got all the spells.
Poor.
I'll take his component pouch if he has anything.
He does.
Yeah,
It's all very bloodied.
it's fine.
But as
Ish.
you sort through his stuff, he has a book. He has
has a book.
bottle of ink and an ink pen. He has wait, I'm gonna just I'm just gonna copy it and send it to you. He has a little bag of sand, parchments, a lot of parchments, but a lot of them have been ruined by the blood. So there might be like he had 10, but maybe 3 are usable. He had the potion of healing, but that is now used, and he had a small knife. He also had his quarterstaff, his spell book, and his spell book had certain spells written in it, which is Alarm, Detect Magic, Reese, Mage Armor, and Shield. Yeah, so I'm gonna send you just so you can sort it yourself. Meanwhile,
Cool.
That's what he had. Yeah, the parchments, it says 10, but he had like 3 that are no usable. And the potion of healing, you spent that one or gave it to Leaf or Miles. Yeah, that is what he had in his possessions.
Yeah.
I can send you the spells he had in the spell book.
I've written them down.
You did? Nice. Okay. Does anyone go on guard duty, or how you want to do this?
I'm just gonna fall asleep in one of the chairs.
Yeah, I'll stay guard
I'll block the
for
door
the
and then I'll
first part
rest.
at least.
Yeah, I can take over from Gloomsworth after a while, probably.
So yeah, he will easily stay guard for the hour. To get a short rest, you need at least an hour. And because of all your events, and while you try to rest,
Felgrim, wait before you block, and I'll rush out and grab my rapier that I dropped and come back in.
oh, you did. Yeah, and if any one of you used arrows and such, you would need to search for it, and you get half of it back.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna search for any arrows.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, it doesn't take too that long. So you get half
Leaf,
of
did
it.
you give me a potion, Leaf?
I did when you were dead.
Oh, right. So I don't have it now.
No, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I mean, I have plenty, so you can have one of mine. I'll chuck one of towards him.
Just to have it, so just in case.
So as you
not
try
gonna
to
use it.
rest and sit by yourself and you try to get some shut eye or something to get rested, images of the events that has happened the past couple of days is stitched to the insides of your eyelids. It's hard to shake, and I would need you guys to do a wisdom save for me.
Fuck
Except
no.
Wordsworth, since you're standing guard.
Hey,
18.
20.
Miles.
Come on, Miles.
13.
DC was 10.
Woo!
Oh, good.
I finally made a wisdom save in this campaign.
Yeah.
Hey.
So you all get the effect of the short rest, but as you rest, you are disturbed by the images of the past events. Or whatever.
I don't get a short rest.
If you stand guard. Yeah, take the short rest.
Thank you.
But you also then you need to roll the wisdom. Yeah. What did you get? Glooms? The wisdom?
6.
Oh shit. Unfortunately, not. You won't get the effects of the short rest this time.
That's fine.
Gloom's worse than his wisdom saves too. Jesus. Or whiz-based saves. Or rolls in general. On both characters. Jesus. And you can spend however many hit dice you'd like. Miles, do you spend any hit dice?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 2 hit dice.
I'm gonna use my second win, by the way.
You could use your inspiration point if you want, Gloomsworth.
Nah, I'll use my second win.
Do you get that? Yeah, because you get that back from a short rest, doesn't it? Don't you? If you get
Yeah.
the effects of a short rest, but you unfortunately didn't. 6. Leaf got 6 hit points left.
Yeah, so I get 6 plus 3. So
I think
I'm full.
didn't they update the
That's
hit
cool.
die as well now that you can actually see and roll on it?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you can.
Nice.
Well, not for second win, but hit die
Yeah.
on short rest. So.
Yeah, nice. It's getting better and better. Okay, so after an hour goes by, nothing particular seems to happen except for you. What happens inside in your heads? Most of you manage to shake it off. But Gloomsworth, it's a little more effective in the moment. And it's once again very quiet in the house.
I'll say we go back to the top floor.
Yeah.
There might be some interesting there. Apparently, that was some sort of a trigger.
It seems
For the suits.
So, yes.
I'll lead us on, and I'll start.
And as you walk out, you can see that the headless stuffed animals have once again moved.
So they're headless,
Breaking.
but they're moving.
Yep.
Fuck's sake! I'll grab another torch.
Yeah.
Do you want me to torch them? Because this
No.
is making me nervous as fuck.
Don't, because if the flame spreads, we'll be trapped in here with them.
Okay.
Wait, aren't
Do we have
any?
Do you have anything to block the stairs?
I mean, they managed to break out of a closed door.
Fair enough. I would imagine their intelligence has gone down by losing their head, but well.
And their biting capabilities.
But they have become lighter, so maybe they can move faster.
Maybe we should cut off their legs, arms. Just,
Why don't we just cut up all of them?
yeah, let's get out all the stress we have inside us and beat the crap out of those forage dogs.
I'll start cutting the legs of the wolves.
Oh, Are you guys gonna start stabbing him as a group?
Fuck yeah.
I will just stand in
As
the stairs
I
and keep watch.
realized that my rapier is only good for stabbing and not cutting, I want to go towards the fireplace and take down the sword to use.
Oh yeah, the sword. Didn't you take that down earlier to block the door?
Yes.
We did.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, right.
Right next to the door, but yeah, you take
Okay,
it.
then I'll pick that up and use that
It's,
to
it's
start
a
hacking
long-
away with the Gloomsword.
It is a long sword, and it had the Durst family crest in the pommel. You bash away and leave. As you do this, roll a wisdom save for me, or just a wisdom. And not a save, but just a wisdom.
A normal wisdom. Okay.
Yeah. With advantage.
Roll wisdom.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Oh shit. 12.
Well, the DC was 10, so you succeed. As you start pummeling this that you consider your mortal enemy to this point, you feel cathartic in a way and feel like, yeah, finally, I get to do something in return.
I'm
And
screaming.
you no longer have your stress point. You feel like
Nice.
you gained something. And you get rid of the stress point.
This is all good, guys. Oh my god. This is good!
And you just go full whack-a-mole and
Your Russian is showing.
A Gloomsword?
Miles?
Is this normal for him to do?
and candy starts spurting out of the stuffed animal.
Oh, just leave him be. He has some issues, but
Okay,
You can just see Leaf.
I trust you.
So happy, well, just going mental.
as with every.
I mean, I'm all for like killing animals and hunting them, but I think this is pretty excessive.
Oh, seems to be relaxing him. I am for it.
I'm stopping up and turning my head over to Miles. They are my worst enemy.
Okay then, that checks out. Carry on.
Well, you kind of feel inspired as well, Miles. I think the thought of the red books comes to mind.
Oh, maybe that will work. And I'm gonna go up the stairs away from the others and try to stab one of the red books in the library. Learning from Leaf that maybe attacking them instead of trying to burn them, that's the way.
This is the way. Where you close the doors as well.
Oh,
Oh shit.
damn it.
I'm gonna follow with Miles so he doesn't go alone.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna try and open the doors to do this.
But as,
Get rid of,
as I am on my way up the stairs and I pass the body of George, I'm just gonna aggressively punch the railing in the stairs before I move on.
But I'm gonna open the doors real carefully, so in case something has happened inside the library.
well, once again, as you open the doors, roll a whiz. You feel a little bit more amped up now, so do it with advantage as well. You feel like inspired by leaves.
This is gonna be
Tragic
shit.
moment.
There's a nat 1 and a 2, I call it.
What?
16?
Hey! Well, yeah, you managed it, but you open the doors, and once again, you get the feeling that you can see, all the red-covered books just light up, and you can feel like
Oh.
you get a panic attack, but okay, but you got this, dude. You got this. You can hear the voices in your head, and you can hear the voice of a woman. Destroy
I'll
them.
stab the first book that I can
Destroy
see.
them all. And you stab it. Roll damage.
Rapier, where is it? There it is. 10.
10 Ah! Like this is like Harry Potter stabbing the Book of Voldemort with that basilisk tooth. And in a moment, you feel like you actually see blood seeping through the book as you stab it. And I guess the first book you would have stabbed is the actual red book that you dropped on the floor.
Yeah.
And now roll a whiz for me with advantage.
Advantage. 17 again.
You are now
Oh.
1 stress point removed.
Woo!
You feel like you
I'm
come
fixed.
to something. And
Mhm.
you can actually see blood.
I'll keep stabbing the book.
And you can actually see that blood are pouring out of the holes of the book.
What?
But
Another stress point added.
but like it could have freaked him out, but since you like won over this, you feel like it actually hurt the book. As
Take that! Yeah!
if it bleeds, you can kill it.
Yeah.
Kind of thought.
And I'll triumphantly walk out of the room with the book still impaled on my rapier.
So as he was doing it, what did you other guys do? Like, did you come up the stairs or?
I followed him.
I cut off the legs, or tried to at least,
So
from
you're
the wolf.
putting the rest of the animals in the fireplace.
Yeah, I'm like slowly cutting them up, watching Leaf, punching or stabbing the bear, or no, the other dog.
Imagine someone else like coming in and just seeing these guys chopping off stuffed animals and putting in the fireplace and stabbing books.
And
What shrooms are these guys?
I'll slightly start talking
It's
to
normal,
George,
man.
who is like laying beside us.
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Be cool, dude.
Yeah, you feel like you brought it to the big man this time. Well, yeah.
So, is everything minced meat now?
Yeah, pretty
Stuffed
much.
minced meat.
Stuff, porridge, minced meat? I don't know. There we go.
The animals are now utterly destroyed
And burned.
and burned.
Perfect.
Cheers.
Woo!
No, no.
Oh,
No-
I see the
no
other
worries.
guys come up, and I try to just shake the book off my rapier.
You could just see this book is just full of holes and actual blood. And the first win, like the best win you had in this adventure, is burning and putting apart stuffed animals. I love it.
You good, Miles?
I feel better.
Good. You just stop wasting time now and move on before anything else ambushes us.
Okay.
Sounds good. And I'll kick the book as well for good measure before I walk away.
I feel ready. I'm hyped, as you guys used to say.
Hype. Okay, what marching order do you want to have up the stairs again?
I'll go first.
Just place yourself.
And go
in the-
behind Gloomy.
Place yourself.
I will
in the
be
stairs as
in
you
the
walk
back
in.
then.
Like third.
Okay, I'll then move you. Are you going stealthily or are you going?
Nah.
With all the sound we made of chopping up animals and killing books, I think
Screaming of
I
stealth is
got
beside the point.
There's
got too much adrenaline.
Yeah, adrenaline,
Yeah.
testosterone
Oh,
going
let's
through
go!
this room now.
Ready for anything. We
So
are
I'll-
fought
I'll-
against
I'll-
stuffed animals. We killed animated suits of armor. We killed books.
Yeah, bring it!
Bring it. Oh god, I love it. Okay, so Bluesworth, you went ahead first. Crankcraft. Welcome, Crankcraft. I love this so far. Yeah, the adventure has truly been. I just have to move you guys. Jesus, it's such a.
Oh,
Oh shit,
I
we
think
are
we're
outside.
Hooray! Let's run!
Yes!
Yay!
It was Gloomsworth. and
Are
then it
are the
was-
kids eating the horses?
They may
Me,
take our
Leaf,
horse, but they'll never take our
Miles, and then
freedom.
Pelgrim.
Okay, so yeah, you leave Miles and Pilgrim. No, George. You can see as you step up, you just see the blood. Like the blood of George just fills these stairs. It's even redder.
Redder. More. It's such redder here.
It's very redder. They chose the color well. For these stairs. And as you like think of this, were these red stairs red in the beginning or have they turned red? You're not quite sure.
It's more redder here than I remembered.
Oh, and George is
that
definitely
An
better.
insult towards my color?
Oh god,
Oh no!
that's racist. Oh, this is
No,
Well-
it's red cyst.
as you Gloomsworth, as you approach, you no longer hear the voice of the woman, but as you approach the stairs, you hear something like the sound of something swinging and creaking.
Where? From?
Over in this direction. Oh shit!
Oh, it's gonna
I'm
be
gonna,
someone-
Oh.
I have to adjust the battlefield for the chat. There you go.
Oh,
Gonna be someone who hung themselves, isn't it?
Nah, it's gonna be a sex swing.
God.
A turtle sex swing.
This
Hey.
is- I shouldn't have let you guys kill those stuffed animals. It did something. A dog, maybe.
Yeah, we're so confident now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's a mimic sex swing.
Oh my god, that would be the most coolest thing I can imagine.
Oh my god.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's gonna be
I'm
a
gonna
point
use that
command,
next
isn't
session.
there?
Inspiration. Oh god. Just wait until you get to, just wait until you get to the dungeon.
Oh, so you're saying there is a dungeon?
Well.
So- I heard something.
Yeah.
Well, you squint a pair of double doors, painted with stained glass, in the end of the room, as where you hear the sound.
But it's the room to the top, right? Yeah.
These are two double doors,
Okay.
stained glass double doors.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll turn back and just. Shh. There might be
So no
something inside.
Now
that
we're still
door.
dead.
There's been something inside every freaking room. I'm not surprised anymore.
Oh, if we're all talking in normal voices, then we're okay.
No. It's stage whispering.
Yes, what Felgrim said.
I'm
Come on,
confused.
Drog, let's go.
I'll say
we-
we go. I'll say we go check it out again.
Are we stealthing now? Or
They're flying now. Are there any other doors?
There's
there's
one
one
door
down here.
down there, and one door there as well.
Okay.
And, well, as you come around this corner, there's also another door here.
Let's open all 4 doors at once.
Perfect.
This is truly
I'll
a of doors.
open the door. Do, do, do. Yeah, I'll go over to the big one, to the north one.
Nice. And as you approach, you can see that the stained glass is very dusty, so it's hard to look inside.
Can I blow on it
You can.
for it to clear? I'll blow.
So, blowing away some of the dust, you can see that the stained glass also depicts windmills.
Perfect.
And it, well,
The blowing was appropriate.
As you look through the stained glass, it reveals a magnificent suite, choked with dust and neglect. You see a rotting tiger skin rug lies before an ashen fireplace, watched over by a wilting portrait of the Durst parents. You can also see a 4-poster bed with the curtains hang shut. There's like this curtain that covers the bed. And well, these white curtains, and well, your view gets drawn to this place because you can hear the sound is coming from here, and you can see a shadow of a figure behind these curtains, swinging, and it looks like it's hanging from something. What it said, like this.
Do you see anything? I believe there's someone who's hanged himself.
Oh.
I want to check it out. This might be a big clue, but I want everyone to have their weapons ready, in
Or
case.
it might be a
I'm
room
always
that
ready.
fucks with your head and make you want to go hang yourself.
I'll ignore that comment and ready my pistol, just in case.
Nice.
And I'll try to stealthily see if the handle is movable, or like if you can open the door.
Yeah, you do that. Roll stealth for
Yep.
me. Yeah, roll stealth for me, or sleight of hand, I guess.
16.
16.
Sleight of hand.
Yes, Lemon, you very carefully open the door, and it opens, and it squeaks a bit as you enter, but you stop it before it squeaks anything more, and you try to be as gentle as possible. It doesn't make the squealing sound anymore. And you step inside as quietly as you can. Don't seem to make a sound. As you said earlier, it's not your first entry like this in a scene. And you can see that this room as well, like this whole floor is just covered thick with dust and cobwebs and neglect.
I'll point my gun towards whatever shade I saw, by the way, just in case.
Yeah, you see it here hanging. Oh, I was on the wrong layer. There you go. You can see the body seems to be hanging from one of the bed posters.
Is it human? Does it resemble either one of
It
the...
does resemble the
pictures?
shadow of a humanoid. Pretty large build. You can just see
I'll
the
turn
shadow
before
of it behind the curtains.
Oh, behind the curtains.
Yeah, there are like these curtains drawn before, like it's a 4-poster bed, like Himmelsang.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like the curtains covering the entire bed. But you can
I'll
see
I'll turn and say, I think this is the master bedroom. Be quiet, everyone. And I'll start walking in slowly towards the bed.
Okay, stealth for me, please.
11.
11. I will try to move as quietly as you can. While you get close, your eyes are fixated on the shape behind the curtains. And as you approach, you stumble a little on what looks to be an empty wine flask on the floor. right next to the bed. You kick it a little. You don't make much noise, and you're able to like stop it with your foot before it goes any further. You stop for a moment. Listen. But there's no sound. You only hear the squeaking of the rope. Of the figure hanging behind those curtains.
Come in, everyone.
What?
Come in.
Oh
okay.
yes. Duh.
I will stay on the outside the door.
And I'll go forth and remove, or at least pull off the curtain.
Yeah. Where do you pay? How do you face Felgrim? Do you look like in towards the room, or do you like watch the hall?
No, I'm keeping an eye on if there's anything sneaking up behind us.
Yeah. Would you like to have a ready action or something if anything were to happen?
My ready action will be a blood
Wait.
right.
Does anyone else want to have a ready action?
Yes.
If the thing moves, I'll shoot.
Yeah, because you
I'll
have like your
an
gun
arrow.
ready. An
Yeah.
arrow.
I'll knock an arrow ready to shoot at anything that is clearly hostile.
Or
Yep.
actually, as I'm moving closer, I'll put down the gun and I'll take out the cane sword instead, because range.
Not to be a rule lawyer, but there is a rule about readying actions. Actually,
Okay.
you cannot ready an action outside of combat.
Well, fuck that.
I just remembered.
I'm in combat with myself.
Wait, what?
It's a light
I'm
one,
fighting-
but
I'm
apparently-
fighting- my
that
stress.
doesn't really make sense for me. Because you would be able
No,
to
I'm just
ready-
saying.
Yeah, but you would be able to ready yourself for anything that would happen.
I mean, your word is law.
Yeah.
I
I think it doesn't make sense. You would be able to like do what you did, like have an arrow knocked. It might not be called a ready action, but in my opinion, it is. It kind of works like a ready action.
Yep.
I'm gonna ready my bow as well.
Okay, and you all have it pointed towards the bed, or the figure in the bed. Okay.
Wherever Gloomsword is trying to open.
So you're now using
the
your
curtains.
cane sword to.
Yeah, I'll have my cane sword in my right hand, and I'll use my left hand to go and swoosh
Just
the
try-
curtains.
Uh,
No, no, not with the sword. I'll
Yeah.
just pull them over, not attack them.
Yeah. So would you do like do it with a sleight of hand, or would you like just?
No, I'm doing this full on, big slide.
Yeah. You can see like it opens in the middle of the bed. It kind of has this little opening, so you could like draw it like this. So I guess you would go a little bit further ahead, maybe, or would you?
Where is it open?
You can clearly see that it would normally be drawn like this in the middle and out towards the both sides of the bed
okay, so I
towards
I need to stay here.
no, I mean on the side of the bed, like you would draw it towards this side and towards this side by standing in the middle.
Okay, then I'll switch hands then. Cane sword in left hand and right hand to throw the facing right.
Are you
Curtain.
ambidextrous?
Huh?
Means you can use both hands just as efficiently. Are you lefty or are you righty? Or are you both?
I am a righty.
Right then.
Alrighty then.
Ha!
Okay. Well, you just pull the curtains.
Yep.
And what happens next will be revealed the next time on. Nah. And you can
Dun,
see
dun.
swinging ever so slightly seems to be the body of a man, very finely dressed, but also covered in dust. But what you expect to be the visage of Gustav turns out to be something else entirely. Where his skin is all grey and dull. But that's not the most disturbing part. His jaws open like in four pieces like this. And out from the mouth hangs a large black tongue. And just like that. And you can also see that there is no hair left on its head. And, well, you just see this entirely white eyes looking down on you. But the figure is not moving. And as you look further down on the body, you also see that his hands looks unnaturally long fingers, and at the point of the fingers are these long black, where his nails would be, are these long black claws. But you can also see that one of his hand is clenched like this, and it seems to have a piece of paper crumbled in it.
Pilgrim,
Yeah.
I need your expertise.
All right.
This is beyond my understanding.
I will sheath my sword and I will come inside.
And I'll take
What's
a
up?
few. I'll look at this.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this is our, well, Mr. Durst, but not in his original form.
You do see he has similar clothing to what you can see on the portrait hanging
Yeah.
on the wall over the fireplace.
Like, can I recall if there are similar facial features? If that's
Taking a closer
somehow-
look, like when you watch towards the portrait and watch back on it. Well, it's kind of hard to see as he doesn't have any hair anymore, and what used to be like his jaws and mouth are just split into these 4 pieces with, you can see a lot of teeth on the insides of it, but you feel like you recognize the jawline.
So yeah, I believe this is Mr. Durst. But again, not in his original form. Do you know what this is?
I will start to walk around the bed and I will look him up and down and look at the unnatural features that he is now possessing. Do I know about any transformation?
You can roll. What are you proficient with? You are proficient in history. Yeah, to roll
History, Arcana, and
history
religion.
with advantage for me.
History?
What do you get? You have advantage. It says you have advantage. How is that?
It has advantage to recall information about fey fiends or undead.
Well, that will give you advantage.
And I have 16.
16. You've seen this kind of creature many a times, feasting on bodies of dead, both on, well, usually drawn to battlefields or graveyards. Seems to be a ghoul.
Is he moving at all?
It's just totally still, just hanging, and you can see the any movement that is because of you can see it's a makeshift rope made out of the sheets of the bed.
This person is undead.
I figured. What kind?
It's a ghoul. I will take a flask out of one of my pouches and I will pop the cork open as I climb up into the bed. And I will empty my entire bottle of holy water over the corpse.
So I can give you a little visual how it would.
Oh, hello. Jeez.
Oh my lord! Wow, he's big.
Oh yeah.
How big are you making him?
This is just so you can see it, like how it
Oh,
looks
okay.
like, and
Ooh.
yeah. So it's not ever just as so the guys in chat and you guys can have a little visual. I could ever give the handout, but it gives a lot of information about it. But yeah, you know that these are considered undead, but they're not undead like they get their restored life after death. It's more of a curse. This condition. You know that the curse can take form if people are cannibalistic by means of wild rituals and evil rituals. So there's some kind of curse behind it. Normally,
I don't think the owner of this house had many pleasant activities that he partook in while he was alive. Turning into a
Well-
ghoul takes a lot.
Well, according to our papers in our dear library, well, it seems to fit the profile.
Did anything happen when I emptied the holy water over him?
oh, did you? Oh, I didn't catch that. You emptied the holy
I
water.
said I climbed up into the bed with him and emptied my bottle of holy water over the body.
Sorry, didn't pay attention to that. Yeah, as you turn the holy water, you can see that the holy water seems to. Well, actually, let me have a look. Let's see if it actually has, because that is radiant damage, isn't it?
It is.
So let me take a quick look. You have ghouls.
Against fiend or undead.
Weak to it.
No, but the holy water has a set amount of damage it does to fiends or undead already.
Oh, I see. Oh, nice.
If it is a fiend or undead, it will do 2d6 damage.
Okay, I understand. Okay, cool. So you can see that the skin, as you put holy water on it, starts to like just corrode like acid would.
Mhm. You want me to roll damage or?
You can. To see how much of the body gets corroded.
7 radiant damage.
So you just pour it out toward on which parts of the body?
Well, I'm pretty short, so I will just splash it across his torso.
Yeah, you can start to see like it's first it soaks his clothes, and you can just see that this vapor starts coming out through the clothes, and you can see the clothes starts to corrode a bit, and the skin beneath seems to be burned, but there's no movement from the creature.
Yup, definitely undead.
But you see it dead.
Well, he didn't react to the flask. Other than, the body, but it doesn't seem to be in pain, so I assume it's dead.
I'll reach for the paper in his hand then.
You can feel as
As you do that, I will light my blade, and I will hold it up against its throat. I will light it with radiant damage.
nice. You go for a
I will
hand,
take.
and you feel it's got rigor mortis, so it's really holding. So you would have to do try to break the fingers open, or try to maybe slightly try to get it out of his hand, either with the sleight of hand or athletics. It's not too hard, but yeah.
I'll do the sleight of hand then.
Yeah, and try to not damage the paper.
Yeah. 19.
19, yeah, you easily enough manage to get the crumbled piece of paper out of his hands. Ever so slightly, you manage to, some anatomy, and you clench these parts of the hands with the scene, and it opens up, and it drops in your hand. This
Yeah.
crumbled piece of paper. You open it up, I assume.
Yeah.
And the first line you read is, "My beloved children." Do you want to read it out?
If he Yeah, I'll read it out.
My beloved children, I wish I could do what all fathers do and tell you that monsters aren't real. But it wouldn't be true. The darkness takes us, and I am sorry that your mother and I what your mother and I have brought it upon you. What began as survival turned into our obsession, and now to our downfall. In my final moments, I see clearly. You are despicable and are being punished. We deserve it, but I regret that your fates are tied to ours. Life can create things of exquisite beauty, but it can also twist them into hideous beings. Selfish, violent, grotesque, monstrous. It hurts me to say that your mother has turned into one such monster, inside and out. And I am afraid that the disease that afflicted her mind has taken hold of me as well. It sickens me to think that what we put you through, there is no excuse. I only ask you, though I know I have no right to do so, to try and forgive us. I despise what your mother has become, but I love and pity her all the same. Rose, I wish I could see you blossom into a strong, beautiful woman. Thorn and Walter, I wish I could be there for you, but I can't. This is the only way. I love you both with all my heart. No amount of darkness and death will ever change that. May all of our souls find peace. Goodbye. I'll also send you a link on their handouts.
He tried to be a good father. A fool. But he tried. But I don't see why he has transformed into this. Is it by ritual or is it his wife?
It's a curse, and usually it happens when you partake in cannibalism.
But
So
we
a
haven't
good
found
father,
many.
maybe, but a horrible person nevertheless. Unless someone cast his curse on him.
I'll go over to the desk and start rummaging through if there is anything there.
Yeah.
I suggest you search the room, see if you find anything.
I will pay attention to the body while everyone else does that.
Yeah. Just fine. See if there's any in particular. You search through the room and it has dusty cupboard filled burgundy drapes covering the windows, and the furnishing include a four-poster bed, as I said, and a matching pair of empty wardrobes, as you can see to the right of the bed. As you search through it, they seem to be completely empty.
Everything or just the desk?
As you go through the closets.
Oh, okay.
And I just do it as a group. Like, I guess you guys search the room there real quick, and you can see like the tiger skin seemed to be quite rotten as well, and a web-filled parlor in the southwest corner contains a table and two chairs, and resting on the dusted tablecloth is an empty porcelain bowl and a matching jug. And a door facing the foot of the bed has a full-length mirror mounted on it. And the door opens to reveal an empty, dust-choked closet. And I can So most of the room seems to have been completely emptied. You can also see that the dumbwaiter that you've seen on the other 2 floors leads up to this room, down in the corner of the room, right corner. And there's also one door leading out to a balcony. But the door seems to be shut as you try to open it. No shock that, as all doors going out seem to be shut.
If I
As
go
of-
over there as well, I'll try the last key on
The
that
last
door if it locks.
It does not open it.
Damn
Does
it.
not fit. It's too small for that door. But moving over to the desk, you find a jewelry box that also has the same family crest on it, but it also have the initial of ED that you figure out must have been belonging to Elizabeth Durst. And inside you find a ring with the insignia of the Dursts. You also find an emerald gold ring. And a couple of other simple gold, 2 other gold rings. One with the insignia of, or the name of Gustav Durst, and it says "Forever Yours, Gustav Durst," and the other one says the same, just Elizabeth Durst. So I figured that must have been the wedding rings.
Yeah.
You also find a thin platinum necklace with a topaz pendant on it.
Up ass.
But other than that, you don't find any more of interest in this room. And as you are searching through this room, all of you once again. But this time, it sounds like it's in this room right behind you. And you can all once again hear this voice in your ear. You shouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
Like the room that's locked. That was
No,
locked.
It was once again. It sounds like someone was talking right into your ear.
Okay.
What the?
Do I know about any singing ghost?
Roll history.
I will. 9.
You don't know any singing ghosts in particular, but you do know that ghosts linked to certain places or haunted houses and stuff, they're normally prone to do what certain actions or patterns or behavior patterns they did in real life or when they lived, and they tend to be stuck in them.
You do need to find the source of this woman.
Well,
We
not that
already
many
find
rooms
it.
left.
Well,
The door slams shut as you're standing there now, and you hear footsteps going down in this direction. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong layer. There you go. You hear footsteps going this way, and seems to be going across the hall and on another door, and you can hear another door close, and the same thing again.
Wise, leave. Break the door down.
okay.
See if you can open it.
I'll try and open the door.
The door's open.
Okay. We're not trapped, at least.
Let's go check. Follow the footsteps. Follow the sound.
Step out in the hallway.
You step out of the hallway and you hear the sounds leading. You can hear something in this room And I need to change perspective for chat.
It seems to be in the bottom room, in the other end of the house.
Do they want us to follow, or are they hiding?
I think that we
Let's follow.
must figure out. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We have to figure out where we are and how to get out of here, or down to the basement or whatever. Anyway, so
So
First.
who goes first
Maybe-
there now?
I
I
just
have
want to
radiant.
ask Felgrim something.
Yes.
It looks like we probably gonna fight a ghostly figure.
Hmm.
How do we kill a ghost?
Roll a history for me, Felgrim, with advantage.
What the fuck?
Is that with advantage?
Yes, it is.
Jesus fucking Christ.
oh man,
Well, you haven't fought many ghosts. So, like, you try to avoid it because you know that a lot of things doesn't really work on it. And, well, you haven't heard, yeah, there's normally not a good idea to anger a ghost. But you have, as I said earlier, you know that ghosts are particular to certain patterns of behavior, or they're like kind of stuck in memories or echoes of their mortal life. So you've heard reports or seen people being able to in some way interact with ghosts. Some way it ends badly, so on sometimes. It
Just
ends
gonna
good.
pat Leaf on the shoulder, let out a sigh, and say, "Start praying," and then I will move on over to the door.
And
But I
as you
Don't believe in God.
reach for the door, you pause, craning your ear towards the door, and you hear the wailing of a newborn echoes throughout the suit.
You will turn
You
around and go the
hear-
other way.
As you hear also hear a young woman
nope.
that tries to quiet the child, as you did so many times before, poorly singing the lullaby. You hear the same. Hush, little baby. Don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a blinksy toy. And if that toy don't work, Walter, just stop crying. Go to sleep. Please stop crying. Morning Lord's light. Please just stop crying.
I just want every. Sorry.
Oh, go on.
I want everyone to remember that whatever children were outside said that their brother, this baby, was dragged down into the cellar. And now it's supposedly on the top floor of this house. There are some deceptions here.
Are we in an upside down house?
I don't know. Doesn't feel like it.
No,
Might be an echo.
that could be.
I'm
like
just
the
saying.
ballroom.
Something weird about this. And some of them are lying. One part is lying.
I do fully believe that the children outside wanted us to go into the basement.
But for
I just
what
think-
reason?
I just think they wanted to drag us through hell first.
Could be.
It seems to me, like for now, there is no basement that we've found. If this is the last floor, I can only assume that there's a set of stairs that goes down in one of these rooms.
That's
Well,
fair.
You did
That's
see
probably
that the house had 4 floors on the outside. When that seems to
also
be an
sun
attic.
reset.
There was 3 floors and an attic.
Oh, attics
Is
are
that-
always nice.
Yeah, so it had a pretty steep roof like this. I can change scenes so you kind of get a look of what the house looks like from the outside again. So you're now on the 3rd floor.
No, but as Gloom's would say, be careful. Something is definitely fucking with us.
Whoever is the more silent of us, open the door, please. Because they are warning us to be quiet. So I don't want to overstay that. If it's a welcome, I don't want to overstate it.
Well,
That's true.
cats are pretty silent. Leaf, would you mind?
Not a cat. But I'm silent, yes.
Has anyone seen The Good Place?
Yes.
I'm not a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was good.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Open the door, but not in
I
a
can do
threatening way.
that.
Yeah.
That's the general rule in this
Uh,
house.
as Leaves passes me, I'm gonna pat him on the back. You got this. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna mutter under my breath a small sentence, and I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good on him.
Ooh,
Oh, ho, ho.
nice.
Where has this been all the other fights?
There's not been any undeads actually, so.
That's true.
Okay. So I try to open
You try to.
slowly as fuck.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand for me.
Mm-hmm.
19.
When you open the door, ever so slightly, you find no woman, no light, only gloom and neglect. Cobwebs are everywhere in this room, along the windows, between the posts of the bed, stretched across the wardrobe. Even the mirror set into the wall is draped in eerie silk. Stained glass doors lead to the balcony you saw from outside, and gloomy, dust-choked air haunts this place like a distant memory. Walter's wails seem to come from behind the door to your immediate right. Let me have 2 secs and I'll remove. Place yourself ever so slightly inside the room. Seems to be a bedroom as well. And you can hear the crying of your baby seem to coming from this little door leading to another room. Here you can see the doors leading out to a balcony. And here mounted on the wall is a mirror.
It's clear, guys.
I'll join in.
You can see as you move into you can see a book on one of the
Oh no!
one of the oh Jesus, what's the English words for it again?
Nightstands.
Nightstands. Yeah, thank you. A blue covered book, not a red one.
Yeah, it's a fine one then.
The good kind of
And-
books.
Yes.
You have pretty good eyesight as well, if you can see that. The title of it is Blue-Blooded Lips. As you all, other guy, everyone I see have entered the room. You also hear soft wailing of a baby to the left of you, coming from that door.
Should
Jesus
I
Christ.
open that one as well? I take that as a yes.
Yes. Yes.
There should be a new Dawnwatcher
Yes.
code. Open doors in a non-threatening way as the way of the Dawnwatchers. This is the
Mhm.
way.
This is the
I'm
way.
gonna do it really
Slowly.
silent this time.
Sensually.
Oh, really
Jesus.
silent. You open it without even making a sound. And as you open this little door, you see what looks like a nursery. But it's decorated in strange toys. A mobile of black and white bats. A rocking chair in the shape of a wolf. A black shroud embroidered in windmills covers a crib. But no woman can be found. Perhaps you think she left for the balcony. But you still hear the soft wails of a baby seeming to come from the crib.
Lumi,
Yes.
you like to look at dead stuff. Can you check the
Aye.
crib?
You see another
Oh,
door.
yikes.
There's also another door,
will.
as I said, into the balcony there. Yeah.
I will hold an arrow ready.
Here is the crib. You see.
Is there like, is it a solid door? Is it like a window? Is it like, do you have a view outside?
It's a solid.
Okay. I'll I'll check the balcony first.
You look so little in your chair now. For some reason, perspective like it's so small. You sure you're not Felgrim? How are you sitting in your chair right now?
With the half of it outside of the chair.
Oh, that's so cute. Sorry. Yeah.
I'll
and
check the balcony first.
Try to open
What?
the door, and you can still hear the soft wails of the child coming from the crib.
Yeah.
Jesus, why can't I need to see if a chat can. No, for some reason they can't. I'm sorry, chat. You won't get to see the little crib. There we go. I guess that's the best you can. You try to. Well, I guess you keep your eyes on the crib as you go towards the door and try to open it. It seems to be locked as well.
Okay, then I'll go to the crib. I'll look down, expecting to see a corpse.
As you approach the crib, you see a little Jesus, it's the English word again, Jesus. A little bild, a little oh my god, what is the English word? I'm sorry. You just see, like, just as you saw on the portrait of them holding the child, it was just seems like this little
Like a bundle.
bundle.
Of clothes,
Bundle. Thank you, Jesus. Ah. This little bundle, Crycraft, we're right about to end the stream as well, so just a couple of minutes. Laying there, and what seems to be same
The
tufts
hardest one.
of same tufts of hair you can see on the portrait, just poking out.
So no baby.
Well, it's cuddled, so you can't really see. It's bundled up. You can only see some tufts of hair, and like you don't really see. It's like it's covered. You see some tufts of hair.
No sound.
No sound anymore.
I'll poke
What?
it.
With
I'll
what?
poke the tuft.
Just as you're about to reach down towards the bed, Miles feels whatever tiefling neck hair he has rise as you all feel the temperature just drops in the room, and you can see the fog and the breath freeze up and it gets really cold, and out from the mirror steps the shape of a woman.
We're fucked.
And she comes out. Can enlarge it to get a little better look.
Fuck's sake.
A large woman comes out of the mirror, and she seems to just
Password.
ignore you, Miles, and she just drifts through your body, and your entire body just freezes of the sensation as it goes right. Like you had your back to it, she's just, and for Leaf, it seems like she just emerges from Miles' body, and you see her. She just looks straight ahead, and she just goes right through you as well, into the room.
Ah.
In the room, and that is when you go sort of start to feel like the cold spreads through the room, and you turn around and you as well feel the shivers. And she stops, and there is where we'll end today's session.
Damn it.
We're all gonna die.
Yes.
That's a banshee. She can scream and we're all dead.
Yep.
Oh no!
What if it's a ban he?
You never know.
It's definitely not though, but yeah.
And that's my cue.
That's
Everyone. Ba-dum, psh.
I'll make it bigger.
That's what she said.
That's not what she said.
Dawnwatcher, don't say a word.
Listen, I have to go
Okay.
outside in the dark now, so shut up.
What you gonna do? So
I'm
yeah,
going
Alright.
somewhere.
We ain't afraid
Great.
of no ghosts.
Great.
Yeah, good sesh.
Yeah.
good sesh, people.
Love it.
Some of you got
Oh, I
to
love
deal
this.
with your trauma. That's a good
Oh
thing.
yeah, I'm not done with dealing with my trauma.
No, not entirely. You have so much trauma. Leaf feels way better after slaying those stuffed animals.
Mm-hmm. So if we go down the stairs now, we're gonna see porridge moving up.
Yeah, a lot of different animal parts just crawling up the
Tufts
stairs.
of fur coming, blowing in the wind.
All right. Thanks for the sesh. I need to go.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Great sesh.
We'll be seeing you guys. One last thing before we go, Leaf. Next Tuesday, you guys are on. Or
Yep.
Yeah.
Same procedure
probably.
as every Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think so. At least.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.